And number 15 on my list is inside linebacker Jay Higgins, Iowa Hawkeye. Who do I love in the league as much as anybody in Detroit? Plays right in the middle. Captain Jack Campbell. You know what he was? A Butkus Award-winning middle linebacker for the University of Iowa. And he followed Josie Jewell. And there has been a heritage, a lineage at that position in Iowa City, in a sense of pride, like a gladiator, that if you're going to be the middle linebacker for Kirk Ferentz at the University of Iowa, you're going to have Thump 'em Tuesday, Whack 'em Wednesday. You're going to be in pads every single Tuesday and Wednesday of the college football season, callousing yourself up, hardening yourself up, so you can go on Saturdays and be a difference maker and gladiator. And Jay Higgins is that kind of guy. Now, he won't be Captain Jack Campbell in the first round because Captain Jack was 6'5" and 245 pounds and could run. Jay Higgins is 6 foot 224 and ran 4.82. He's going to be a 6th or 7th round pick, like I said with Jabbar Muhammad. So I start this list kind of there, and as we boil it down, and as we get to the week of, you're going to see guys that I would take at number 18. But these are guys that I have just fallen in love with. An hour and a half from now, Benetti's going to join the show. We're going to talk Tigers and Mariners. But I said, Jay, would you mind putting together your list of your 3 favorite players we ran into on the college football trail? And I'll be really curious if Jay Higgins is not on that list. Because when he walked in our production meeting in Iowa this year, and he walked out, Benetti and Allison and Bo and Darren and I all looked at each other and said, that is a dude that could play for me. I want him as my middle linebacker. So the traits, again, not off the chart, 6 foot 224. He did jump 33 inches. He did run 4.82. That's not awful. But at that size, if you're going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds, you got to run like 4.5. And he doesn't. But you know what he does? He makes up for it with unbelievable instincts and unbelievable angles. You can ask Benetti about one of the more uncomfortable, nerdy conversations I got in with Iowa's D coordinator by the name of Phil Parker. Phil Parker got up on the whiteboard, and I said, Phil, when I watched this defense you play, and Iowa's played the same defense against Damon Huard in the 94 Sun Bowl that they played in the 2024 season. 30 years ago, it's the same quarters defense. It's 4 down. It's quarters on the back end of it, and those linebackers and the nickelback or the nickel linebacker have all got to play zones in a way where they're spot on, where every attention to detail and every step matters. I said, Phil, it looks like your defense is a bunch of triangles, like I hear about soccer. And he got up on the whiteboard, and he drew up all these geometric and it is. It's like, yeah, on every single play, we want 3 over 1. Like that, we don't want 1 over 1. We want 3 over 1. That's why we play zone. We don't play a lot of man. If we pressure, that's one thing, but we don't pressure much. We play 3 over 1, and we try to get those angles at all times. And it takes unbelievably high IQ football players with a different sense of acumen. And Jay Higgins has that. 339 tackles, Salk. 171 tackles, tied the all-time Iowa single-season record. Follow that up with 124. The dude knows how to play the game. Give him, to back up EJ or to back up Tyrese Knight, and you feel like V had to play 2 or 3 games, he wouldn't be the most electric, dynamic player, but he would be in the right position all the time. And to me, that's a 6th or 7th round pick and also a special teams maven. Make Jay Higgins a Seattle Seahawk.
All right, so that is number 15, Jay Higgins.
Wow,
couple of questions.
Good. Man, that feels good on a Monday morning.
So he's Ben Burkervin.
No, he's thicker than Ben.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what Ben was at the combine, but there's a little more mass. There's a little more stopping power. When he hits you, you stop. Ben was a tackling machine too, but there was not
really undersized.
Really undersized. Yeah, you see Jay Higgins, you don't realize he's only 6 foot tall.
Okay. Because
he kind of has that presence that's way bigger than that. He kind of has that neck. That looks like it has a neck roll on it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of him. He looks like, the world's most generic linebacker. He just looks like a linebacker. Now, he's different from Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, that's a receiver.
But they're both in Iowa.
One's at Iowa State,
right.
One's at Iowa.
Okay.
They're very different.
I just want to make sure I get my Higgins right.
It's a Cy-Hawk relationship. That'd be like saying, wow, he's a Cougar. He's a Washington State. Cy-Hawk.
Isn't that what's the guy's name who's the new GM of the Spytech? Psyops.
It's not Cyclops either. No, Cyhawk.
All right, Jay Higgins, number 15, a Hawkeyes linebacker.
Yep.
Okay, 230 pounds.
Certain,
yeah, that's a little bigger, I guess, than Ben Burk was.
There's just certain positions in college football that are so cool. Maybe and it was this way in basketball too, when we had the Coach K's and the guys.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is the linebacker in like
the
this
middle line? The middle line,
college football, sort of the undersized 4 from basketball like 25 years ago.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's just like what you're getting. You know this guy. Honestly, we had the Iowa-Washington game this year, and it was the 25th celebration of one of the Iowa teams. It was really good. And I said on the broadcast in the open to Jason, I said, look at the contrast between these two programs, right? Washington has had so much turnover, from Chris to Jimmy to Kalen to Jay, like so much turnover. Kirk Ferentz has been there 30 years. Washington is running this pro style, right? We're going to get you to the pros. You're going to play pro schemes, and we're going to have a Belichick and a Carroll and a Fish, and it's going to be all NFL. And I was like, no, we run the same stuff that the small school Iowa high schools practice, the quarters stuff that we do in college. Like, we're a college DNA. Mm-hmm. The other side doesn't put pads on, take the pads off. This side, honestly, the players from 25 years ago at Iowa could have plugged into practice week and known exactly what was coming. Thump them, whack them Wednesday, and thump them Tuesday. Like, that's what you do. And, and it builds up pretty darn good football players, especially on the back end and, well, at all levels of that Iowa defense. Pretty remarkable.
Good stuff. All right.